I may have misled you with the title of the video. It's not 3 watts. You've got the watts, you just aren't putting them to the pedal efficiently. Let's have a look. Cleat position, using a look cleat today. Goes for anything really. Sometimes speed player a little bit more manipulative, but depends what you've got, you can work with. So 3 different types of cleat position, or 3 different movements that we have. We have one movement which is before and the aft, so cleat backwards, cleat forward. We have the Q factor of your foot in relation to your pelvis, essentially, how wide your stance is. And we also have just the heel in and out, pigeon toe or duck feet for the layman's terms. Today we're not worrying about heel, or we're not worrying about the Q factor today. We're just worrying about fore, aft. Now, firstly, when you come in, we'll sit down for 20 minutes, half an hour, and we'll have a chat, see where you're going to, where you're coming from, what your goals are, what you want out of the session, a fitting session that is. And then we'll move on to the cleats, and we'll spend a lot of time on the cleats because it's ultimately the fundamental part of your fit. Firstly, what we'll do is we'll locate the first metatarsal of your foot. Let's say it's there for argument's sake. Then, what I see a lot of, and reason for the video today, is a lot of the time the cleat is far too far forward, meaning you're riding a little bit too toe heavy. Reason this is not the best situation, or not the ideal position for your cleat, is the further forward the cleat position, the less stable your foot is, therefore the less stable your pelvis is. If the cleat's really far forward, the triathletes amongst us, it engages the calf muscle a lot more during the pedal stroke, because your calf muscle will be trying to stabilise your heel drop. But with the cleat position mid-foot a little bit more, a little bit behind the first metatarsal, it puts the pressure and the watts and the power through the power pocket that those people who have had a fit with me would have heard, in the most stable part above the pedal axle. So using this jig, we've got the power pocket about 20 to 15 millimeters behind the pedal axle is what I see on average. Some people up to 30 behind, so pure time trial and triathletes. Your general road cyclist is about that 20 mil to 15 mil behind the pedal axle, and your pure sprinters and your really big power, strong guys, they can creep forward a little bit more, and they can be sort of 10 mil behind the pedal axle, but no one should be in front of it. You lose too much stability. So if you're at home and you want to move the cleats, mark where your toe is or where your foot is inside of your shoe. That's the starter, and then just move the cleat back until you find it is about that ballpark figure 20 to 15 millimeter behind the pedal axle. It's never a problem if our cleats are too far back. It's only ever a problem if our cleats are too far forward, because your hamstrings and your calf muscles, they overlap your knee, across your knee joint at the back. So if our heel is dropping through the instability of the cleat, that means that at the bottom of your pedal stroke, your calf muscle will be switching off, and because they work with each other, the calf muscle and the hamstrings, they just allow a bit of a dead spot with your hamstring to also switch off. But you can imagine, cleat back a little bit, more stable. What this does too is it foreshortens your leg extension, essentially. So we need to bring the seat down a few millimeters every now and then. Depends on your starting point for your fit. So strong, solid cleat position equals strong, solid pelvis, and more, as I said, more watts, 3 watts. You're still generating the watts out of the pelvis, out of the stronger rear chain muscles. However, you can actually deliver them with some stability to your pedal. So if you need a hand, obviously pop in, but if I was you, I'd be trying to move your cleat as much as you can before you end up drilling holes in here and putting them right back under your heel, moving them back just a little bit, especially the triathletes and the time trialers out there. Gotcha.